Hi, it's the Lipstick Gal. Thanks for watching today. And I wanted to share with you the products that I reached for over and over and over again throughout the month of November. Before we get into it, would you please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already? If you have, thank you so much, and let's get into the faves. So I've got everything kind of just laid out here in front of me, and I'm just gonna start randomly reaching for things. All right, so let me start with this. I had been using a lot of this. This is from Tarte. It's in limited edition packaging, but it's their Timeless Smoothing Primer. I do really like this. I live in Washington State, and I flew to Ohio to visit my parents, and the life got sucked out of my skin on the airplane. I was on the airplane for like a full 2 days, going and coming in the course of a week, and my skin is like, I just can't anymore. So I switched over from that to a combination of the Tatcha Silk Canvas, which I really love, and then I also pulled out again my Becca First Light Priming Filter. And this because it's glowy and hydrating, and this because it does add some of those smoothing and pore filling qualities that I get from the Tarte, but I'm not saying that it's hydrating, but it just feels more nourishing on my skin. And I like the way that my makeup has been sitting on top of it. So those are the two things I've been using a lot. I also have just been kind of eschewing foundation for the last month, and I have been living in concealer and powder. So let me show you what I've been using. This is new. This is something that I picked up just in the last couple of weeks. It's from Cover FX. This is their Power Play Concealer. I really, really like this. And I also have continued to use the Born This Way. This is the multi-use sculpting concealer. But here's something that I noticed that's very interesting. Boy, that's a lot of concealer. This is the Too Faced one. This is in the shade Snow. And Snow is their second to lightest shade. And then we have this. This is the Power Play. And it has this massive like ball on the end. I'm not sure that I love that. It doesn't really matter because I don't use it to buff things in. But do you see the huge shade difference here? Here's what's interesting. This right here, my friend, is in N Fair 2, which means this is their second to lightest shade. These are both the second to lightest shades, and look at this. This does not look as fair as this. Many of my concealers tend to be halfway between these two or more on this side, and now that it's getting to be winter-ish, and where I live in the state of Washington, I definitely am feeling a lot more of like my skin is like, we cannot recover from what the airplane did to me. I feel like, airplane, I hate you. But I really feel like my skin is so dry. My under eyes are so dry. So I need things, I can't do Shape Tape under the eyes right now. There would be no way. But I find it interesting that there are two very different shades that are the second to lightest in the line. So there's that. But I like the formula of both of these and the coverage of both of these. All right, from there, powders that I have been loving. This is not like ever going to surprise anyone if you've watched any of my videos. It's the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder, and this is in the shade Diffused Light. I've already got down to the little terracotta tile they bake it on down here at the bottom. And I've had to take a much smaller brush, something like this, and just kind of hit the corners with it to be able to go around my nose and under my eyes. And I really do love this powder because it does have just a hint of a sheen to it. It's never been too much. And this diffused light is kind of more like a yellowy toned, not really yellowy, but it's very brightening. And it works for me like a banana powder might work for other people under the eyes, although most banana powders are too dark for my skin tone. So I really do like this powder. Another one that I've been reaching for to go over the top of my concealer since I've been like, goodbye foundation, has been this one from Laura Geller. I forgot how much I really liked this. This is in the shade Porcelain. This is the Baked Ballance and Brighten foundation. And it's got all of those colors swirled together. It's quite light. I really, really like this product. It can get a little powdery at times. I don't find that the Hourglass one looks like it's too heavy on my skin. That one, sometimes I just take it down with a little bit of setting spray and it works really great. All right, let's talk some blushes. I have been loving this blush. I might have talked about it last month. It's from Charlotte Tilbury. It's her Cheek to Chic in the shade Sex on Fire, and you can tell I've been in here swirling and swatching, but this is what it looks like. It's just barely a little bit of color. And sometimes if I stay to that outer ring, it can be very, very subtle. And then I can put that center just like right on the apples of my cheeks for an extra pop, and I really love that. Another one that I have been using a lot this month more, and I forgot that I had this, but it's been really great. This is from Besame, and this is their Cream Rouge in the shade Crimson. It's in really cute packaging. But this is one that I use with a stippling brush. Where are you, stippling brush? Like this. And I'll just tap it in there, and when I'm using this, since it's a cream product, I tend not to be wearing any powder because it does grab and then it doesn't spread out evenly. But I even like this shade on my lips. It's beautiful. So when I wear this, I tend to be doing more of like a little bit of concealer, not a powder, concealer, a little bit of cream highlighter, cream blush, no bronzer, a lot of mascara, eyebrows, and then this on the lips. And it makes me really feel like very fresh-faced, very young, because it's very minimal makeup. There's not a lot of coverage on my face. There's not a lot of hiding. A lot of my freckles and imperfections show through, but you do get that beautiful rosy glow, and I think is just gorgeous. All right, so from there, bronzer. When I haven't been using Rouge blush or cream blush, I have been using this. It's from the Balm. It's a Take Home the Bronze Anti-Orange Bronzer in the shade Oliver. And it is the one that I'm wearing today. I forgot how good this was. I picked it up September-ish, I think, and then it kind of just sat around, and I found it again when I was going through my drawer, and I was like, oh, this is such a good bronzer. And so many people talk about it. And I think it was Andrea Mattiliano who was talking about how she loved this, and it was basically the only thing she'd been using this year, which prompted me to pull it out, and I was like, yes, yes, I see you. I totally get that. All right, so while I was traveling to visit family in Ohio, I decided to try and pare down my makeup collection. I took some things with me that I didn't use, but the one that I used more than I ever expected is this. It's from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Instant Look in the palette, and this is the shade Beauty Glow. I had to think about it on the back, like what's the name? So you have a bronzer, a highlight, 2 blush, and then 3 shades of shadow. This one's matte, these 2 are shimmers. And what I loved about it is it really helped me to simplify my look. Now, I have been known to use all of these for here anywhere on the eyes. I've been known to use these guys here also as highlights at times, or to mix it with the highlighter that comes in here. And I really think that this is a really gorgeous palette, and it gave me beautiful and effortlessly beautiful looks. So I'm going to keep this handy where I can see it and reach for it on a regular basis. It's a very simple but gorgeous eye look, and the Chic products are just out of this world. Mwah! Absolutely love this. All right, another thing that I have been loving this month, and I took it traveling with me and I didn't use it, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't like a superstar hit this whole month, and that is the Sultry palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I am a person who absolutely has to have shimmer on my lids. And these shimmery shades in here, I think, go beyond shimmer and kind of into that foil territory. They are just like absolutely out of this world. I love this. The mattes in here also blend really beautifully, and I think this is a really fantastic palette, and it's really hitting that desire that I have sometimes for not an all warm toned look. All right, so this was the other palette. I picked this up just before I left to visit family for the holiday, and this is the one that I'm wearing today. This is the one that I can't seem to put down. And that's a good thing, and it surprised me because it's this one. It's from Too Faced. It's their Tickled Peach. It's a super cute little mini palette, and they have a sugar cookie one that I think is exclusive to Ulta. This one comes from Sephora, and it has just some really beautiful shades in here. Now, I did like their original peach palette, but it's been a while since I've reached for it. And I think that because there are so many fewer shades in here, fewer options, sometimes I get overwhelmed, I'm not gonna lie. Too many options, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Or I start, and then I have like 15 shades on my eyes, and it looks like maybe I have 1 or 2, because I just keep blending them all together. I'm still working on kind of upping my eyeshadow game, but I really love this. And this purple here, oh, it's so pretty. It is so, so, so pretty. I did also drop this palette twice. One on a tile floor in a bathroom, and then one here in my beauty room at the carpet. And I was like, and this purple one shattered, and I was like, don't break again, don't. And it survived it. and it didn't have to do any repair with alcohol. I just kind of pressed it in back of my finger, and it's been traveling, and it's fine. The last thing I will tell you about that was a huge hit for me this month is this palette here from Pat McGrath. This is the Mothership Sublime Bronze Ambition eyeshadow palette. Look at this gorgeousness. Now, I know she came out with some new ones just for the holidays, and this one has been out for a while, but I thought out of all of these 6-pan shadows, which would be the one that I would reach for the most? And I realized it would be this one because, like I said with the Anastasia palette, it's the most gorgeous shimmery shades out there. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, the Anastasia one is fantastic, but this is like on a completely different level. They swatch well, they blend well, they look amazing on the eye. I also like how this has a magnetic closure here, so when it just holds itself. So you don't always have to use this little guy if you don't want to. All right, so I gotta put these somewhere. Oops. I did have one miss this month, and I think it might not be the right time of year for me to be using this product. So I suffer from chronically dry lips. I don't know about you, which is why I prefer a cream bullet lipstick or a lip gloss over a matte or a liquid lipstick. Doesn't mean I don't wear those, I do, but I prefer something that tends to be more on the hydrating side of things. And I've been curious about these since they first launched, and they are the Lo-Fi Lip Mousse from Urban Decay. I think the packaging is super cute. I also like that even though you have this little itty bitty teeny tiny mirror, you get a really fun, and I mean, you can totally just like put your finger in here. It's like putty. You can just like leave a fingerprint. But this is what the shade looks like. The shade is called Noise. The downside of the packaging for me is I did use this little applicator. It's not quite a sponge tip, and it's not quite, I don't know exactly what it's made out of. It looks like a sponge tip. It performs. It's just so small. I prefer putting this on with my finger. So this, it doesn't feel like anything. The color is beautiful and it buffs out beautifully. But right now, I don't feel like there's anything on my hand. Like, it doesn't feel like anything, and like it doesn't feel like there's anything on my fingers. And if I were to go into, like when I went into this cream rouge from Besame, the lid has a hard time coming off. I can totally feel I have something on here. And then I can totally feel I have something on here. So this has a little bit more of an emollient feel to it. This is very, very matte, although it is a beautiful shade. The problem I had was I put it on in the morning, like 7:38 in the morning, and by noon my lips would be dry and uncomfortable. And the color would still be going strong. And then by about 1:30-ish, my lips would start to flake. And then by 3 or 4, there was no amount of putting anything other than a balm on top of this that would heal my lips, because this product, you try and put more on, it just sucks out more and more of, it's a matte lip mousse. That's what it's going to do. It's supposed to not move and not be shiny, but my lips just couldn't handle it. So I love the color. I want to try it again in the late spring when my lips are nourished and walking outside my door doesn't just like drain the life from them, because where I live in the state of Washington, it gets really cold. I mean, come late December, early January, we'll have days in the single digits for the high. You might live in a colder area, but if you live in Southern California or Florida or Texas, you may be like, what? So if you're in a warmer state, enjoy your winter. I enjoy my seasons here, but winter is always the most difficult for me, just for I can't stay warm enough and I can't stay hydrated enough. But I am interested to try it again, just not this season. All right, so those were my hits and misses, my miss. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, would you please subscribe and let me know in the comments down below, what are the sort of products, even if you don't buy new makeup on a regular basis, what are the ones that you constantly reach for? If you have more than one lip product, what is your favorite? Is it a shade? Is it a formula? If you have more than one concealer, which one do you always reach for? I'd be very interested in knowing, and if you have any suggestions, I'm looking, I'll just tell you, for a low-end eyebrow option. I think I might do a video about it. Let me know if that sounds interesting in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again later. Have a great day. Bye.